What are you looking forward to this month? I'm looking forward to cooler weather, slower days, self-care, hard work, and of course, time in the kitchen with all of you. I am so excited to make this loaded baked potato soup with you today. I hope you find it as comforting as I do, as a form of self-care, and I hope it feels to you like you're being wrapped in a cozy blanket, which is perfect for this time of year. Hi, if we've not met yet, my name is Susie, and I'm passionate about two things, cooking and coaching. And that's what this channel is all about. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with a Side of Coaching. So as we make this soup together, I want to share a little October inspiration with you. I created this photo here that gives me a visual of what the word October means to me and allows me to have a reminder for how I want to move through this month. So the O stands for Own Your Vision. So a few years back, I wrote a vision. This is a document that has a detailed explanation of what I want my life to look like in every aspect. Business, relationships, my personal life, what I want to do for fun, how I want to show up in the world, what I want my spirituality to look like, how I want to spend time with friends, families, and loved ones, and really just all the things. And so I want to make sure that I'm being cognizant of my vision and that I'm spending intentional time this month owning my vision. If you've not written a vision for yourself, I really suggest that you take some time this October to do just that. Sit down, brain dump, come up with ideas of what you want your life to look like and write them down and read them on repeat. I assure you it will change the way you live your day-to-day life when you have a strict focus on what you want life to be like. The C in October stands for commit to consistency. So based upon my vision, I'm committing to consistently show up for all my vision items. So an example is this particular YouTube video. You guys haven't seen me in a while, and that's because I had several things going on last quarter that I had to focus on, and it really took me away from the vision that I have for my business, which partly includes bringing this content to all of you that not only shows you my favorite recipes and life in the kitchen, but also gives you a bit of coaching in your life in many different areas. And so I'm committing this month to consistency and showing up and putting out at least one YouTube video a month. And so I hope that, one YouTube video a week for the month of October. So now that I've put it out there and I've said it, I hope that you will all keep me accountable to doing that. That leads me to the T in October, which stands for Take Bold Action. And so this is not only in a consistent fashion taking action, but also doing something bold, doing something daring, looking at your big, hairy, audacious goals or your vision and saying, what is one bold thing that I can do today and in these weeks and months in order to move closer to my vision? And so I'm excited to take some bold action this month. The other O in October stands for overcome obstacles. Look, every single vision, goal, what have you, comes with setbacks and obstacles. And the important thing that I want to continue to tell myself is to keep showing up and keep overcoming obstacles. If something gets in my way, I'm going to move it out of the way. I'm going to figure out how to problem solve it, and I'm not going to dwell on being frustrated about it. I'm just going to take it for what it is and figure out a way to move through it. So that's the way I'm going to overcome obstacles that come up. The B stands for believe in yourself. So I, just like many of you, need to continually work on believing in myself. As I mentioned, I have a lot of really big goals in my life, and I'm not going to be able to achieve them unless I believe in myself. And so every day in October, I'm going to do things that allow me to believe in myself. That may be some form of self-talk. That may be some form of journaling. That may be some form of looking back at all my accomplishments and reminding myself who I am and what I'm able to do. And I encourage all of you to do the same. That's such a key thing to be able to do in order to continue to move yourself forward. My coaching partner, Tim Davis, in Life and Air, he talks about his self-esteem file. He has a literal paper file, it's several inches thick, and it's filled with every achievement, every compliment, every review, every good thing that's happened in his life, pictures of huge accomplishments that he's made is in this file folder. And when he is feeling a little self-conscious or feeling like he's down in the dumps, he brings that file out and looks through it, and it, in no time, it allows him to believe in himself. And so I love that idea. I have also done something similar in the past. I've even asked other people to contribute to my file so that I have things that other people have said to me that will allow me to believe in myself. So highly, highly recommend that you do this in October as well. The E stands for elevate your standards. So in every aspect of your life, take a look and say, am I being the person that I need to be in order to achieve the goals or vision that I'm trying to achieve? And if not, elevate your standards. Elevate your standards for yourself so that you're showing up as that person that's going to make that dream come true. And also elevate your standards in who you're surrounding yourself with. I mentioned Life and Air. It's a life and business coaching company, and I'm a coach for that company. And one of the things that I love about it is I'm surrounded by people that are pursuing their vision as well. And so we come together on a regular basis. I belong to a group as well as coach a group, and we come together on a regular basis, and it's a sense of community, and everybody's cheering each other on, everybody's helping to hold each other accountable, and everybody is calling each other out when needed. We take it very seriously that we want to be living our vision, and so elevating our standards and helping each other do that is exactly the key to making it all work. And then finally, the R in October stands for reflect and reset. So we are at the home stretch of 2025, and this is the moment that we really want to take a look at what's been going well so far for the year, and then reset and figure out how we can make sure that we are achieving the goals that we set for ourselves in January or any time along the way, so that we can really finish the year strong. And resetting can mean, okay, I'm looking back at a goal I set several months ago, and there's no possible way that I'm going to meet that goal this month or this year. What can I do to reset not only the goal so that it is achievable, but my mindset around it? How can I turn that into a win from a mindset perspective? Here's an example. I have struggled all of my adult life with my weight. It has gone up and down. I've gone on this roller coaster journey with my health and wellness and my weight. And recently I went to the doctor, and we talked about, now that I'm getting to a certain age and certain things are happening in a woman of my age's life. One of the things that the doctor told me that I really need to do is start focusing on some agility as well as building strength. And so, I'm not going to lie, it's a bit of a struggle right now. I was actually pretty disappointed that when I attempted to do some push-ups, I used to be able to pump, 10 push-ups out really easily without struggling, and I struggle now. So you can laugh at my video here. This is the second day of me doing some calisthenics and some push-ups, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but on the fifth one, because my arms are so sore from doing it the last few days, I just collapsed and fell flat. But I powered through and got my 5 done, a couple sets of 5 done today. And it was quite humorous and quite frustrating. But, again, I'm going to continue to work to overcome the obstacle of, being sore and being out of shape and not quite where I want to be. I turned 50 in a month, and I could sit here and beat myself up over the fact that I really wanted to get in shape so that I could look my best ever for my 50th birthday, but that's not going to do me any good. All I can do now is reset my mind frame and decide that I'm going to just start from where I'm at. I'm going to start here and now, and I'm excited to see what my journey is going to look like in terms of my health and wellness in a month from now for my 50th birthday, and also by the end of the year. So I would just say that even if you can't reach your full goal, you can still make powerful progress towards that goal. Focus on the positive. Don't let your dreams die. Don't quit, and start where you are. Every step counts. And so I hope that's super helpful for you. I will leave a link in the description to where you can find a copy of this October mindset reminder, and I hope it helps you move through the season as well. All right, now we're going to turn our attention to the cooking part of this video. As we were talking through October motivation and how to knock out all of your goals for the remainder of the year, you saw me prepping several ingredients that are going to go into this luscious loaded baked potato soup. So we peeled and chopped 4 pounds of russet potatoes, about 2 yellow onions. We cooked up a pound of bacon, and we diced 4 to 5 green onions. I'm going to go ahead and add the potatoes to the Instant Pot with about 1.5 cups of water, and then I'm going to go ahead and set that to 11 minutes and let those get cooked completely. I released the pressure immediately after the 11-minute mark, and these potatoes turned out beautiful. They're nice and soft and just perfect for the soup that we are going to turn them into. I'm taking them out and putting them into a bowl so that we can move forward with the remainder of the soup base. So to the Instant Pot, I'm now going to add a couple of tablespoons of butter, 3 to be exact. I guess I should have said a few. And I'm going to let that melt. And then I'm going to add the 2 diced onions. You see that I have a whole bunch of onions in this bowl because on this particular day, I was cooking several different dishes. So I just diced up all of the onions that I needed for all of the recipes. So into that pot went about 2 yellow onions, and then now I'm adding 4 cloves of garlic that I'm using my garlic press to press, but you can also dice this or mince this, I should say. You want to get it nice and fine so that it melts into the overall recipe. Be careful of your heat at this point. You will have turned the Instant Pot to saute mode in order to cook up this onion and garlic mixture in the butter. You don't want it to get too brown, and you definitely don't want to burn that garlic. I'm adding a couple of teaspoons each salt and pepper to the Instant Pot as well, so that it draws out all of the liquid, and then the combination of the liquid and the fat will help to dissolve 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And what we're doing here is we're creating what's called a roux. And this is the base of what all of your cream of soups, this is how they're made. So now I'm adding chicken broth, and you can see that I'm adding it a little bit at a time, and I'm really taking care to scrape up all of that flour, butter, and onion and garlic mixture from the bottom of the pot, and that's going to really release all of the flavors. I'm slowly adding in the rest of the chicken broth, and then I'm going to go ahead and let this cook for a little while to bring it up to a simmer. The roux that I talked about, that combination of fat and flour, is really going to allow this to thicken up. And as I mentioned, this is really the base of any cream of type soup. Next, I'm going to add some cream cheese. This is 4 ounces or a half of a block. And then I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of fat-free plain Greek yogurt. You could also use sour cream here if you wanted, but I didn't have any and I had Greek yogurt, and I have found recently that it does just as good of a trick. I would not have originally wanted to do that, but I'm really finding it's a great substitute. You can see that every layer of this dish I'm adding salt and pepper to taste. The reason you want to do that is because cooking is all about layering the flavors. And so for every new ingredient or set of ingredients that you add to a dish, you want to make sure that they're properly seasoned, and salt and pepper do the trick here. So now I'm going to add all of the potatoes back into the pot. I started to pour them, realized I was going to make a horrible mess, so I moved to using a spoon. But as you'll see here in a minute, I get tired of that, and I go back and just dump it all in. And so now all of that has been added to the pot. You can see that the liquid here is still pretty thin, even though it has thickened up nicely from the cream cheese, from that roux that we made. But what's really going to help this soup's consistency is the next couple of ingredients. So I'm using an immersion blender here to puree those potatoes, which is going to naturally thicken the soup. The starches from the potatoes going to come out and really thicken this soup. I'm not going crazy with the emulsion blender because I want to leave some chunks of potato in there. But if you wanted to, you could emulsify it to become just a very thick liquid. But we kind of prefer the consistency with some chunks in there. Next, I'm going to add that beautiful bacon. And then I'm going to shred 8 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese directly into the soup. You really want to add cheese in increments and then stir it in and let it really take the time to melt so that you reach the desired consistency for a creamy soup. And you'll see me do that a couple of times, and this is really going to make a nice velvety, cheesy, and cohesive soup. You could substitute bagged pre-shredded cheese here. If you've ever grated cheese fresh, you'll notice that it has the tendency to stick together. And so what happens is the companies that package shredded cheese, they add a substance to the shredded cheese that doesn't allow it to stick together, but it does affect the meltability, if that's a word, of the cheese. So in a dish like this, I prefer to grate it myself, but you absolutely could take the shortcut and use the pre-shredded stuff. It will work just as well. Just remember my tips about emulsifying it and making sure that you're adding it in slowly, really making sure it melts before you move on. You just don't want to dump it all in there at one time. So now I'm going to give it a quick taste and see if I need to add any salt or pepper to the soup. And you will see here that I definitely have decided that it needs a little bit more salt and pepper. Again, anytime you're cooking, you want to taste your recipe throughout the different stages to see if it needs additional seasoning. A lot of home cooked food ends up being not as seasoned as restaurant food. And I know restaurants can tend to over season, but I think a lot of home cooks under season their food. So next time you're wondering if something's missing, try adding a little bit more salt. It really goes a long way. I'm going to give it another taste here just to make sure that I have hit all of the right ingredients and levels of seasonings, and it is perfect. My son and I are not going to eat this soup right away. I actually am traveling this month, and so I had the presence of mind to make sure that I could use up as many ingredients that I have laying around so that they don't spoil while I'm gone. And it also, lucky for him, gives him some homemade food to eat while I'm traveling. And so you can see me here dividing this up into 6 pretty large servings. He's a hungry late teenager, and so he certainly appreciates a nice hearty meal. And so I am packaging this up. And I'm taking some tastes along the way there just to make sure, again, that it is beautiful. And it certainly is. I asked my son recently, since I've been on my trip, if he had a chance to taste the soup from the freezer to make sure that it remained the proper consistency, and he said that it tastes amazing. And so I'm excited to hear that, because in the future I will know that I can make this, have it in the freezer, have it on hand for cold fall days, and even into the winter. I know that we can enjoy a meal such as this anytime. And it's a good one to have on hand, again, for my teenage son, because he just loves it. Next, I'm just going to garnish each of these with a hefty amount of green onion. So there you go. 6 beautiful, healthy servings of loaded baked potato soup. I know he's enjoying this while I'm gone. I tasted it. I've made it several times. It's absolutely amazing. You don't want to snooze on this one. Absolutely try this dish and you won't be sorry. I hope everybody has a beautiful week, and I hope that you will take into consideration all of the October motivations that we talked about, using October as a reminder for how we move through this season, owning your vision, committing to consistency, taking bold action, overcoming obstacles, believing in yourself, elevating your standards, and then reflecting and resetting. Anything that is worth doing now. I hope you go after it and smash the rest of this year. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please also consider subscribing. It really helps my channel out, and I would greatly appreciate it. Please also share this with anyone who may like this content, either the recipe I shared or the October inspiration. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.